green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. A swing and a miss, oh what a sight. We laugh it off with delight. With each swig from the can, we're the best at this plan. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. No matter the score, we're here for the fun, the sun, the laughs and the fun. So here's to good times and great friends we found in this game where we're barely out of bounds. So grab your clubs and enjoy your brew. We're here to make memories come true in the world of golf and beer. We're barely out of bounds. Cheers. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game.
Oh, there we go. Oh my God, there's a dog. He's attacking me. Oh, there's two dogs. They're attacking me.
And welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing off.
On the green, we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know if it's about to finish last. I don't know.
I guess I'll turn us on.
Whoa, we're having some issues today.
Hey man, if you're not having issues, then you ain't getting tissues. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
Zane,
How are you doing?
what was that?
Nothing.
Dude, stop. I'm putting my finger down.
I don't do it very often, but when I do.
You do it heavily? All right, Zane, what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, Zach, you are drinking 2 shots. However, I am drinking a Mick Ultra Superior Light Beer.
I mean, if you say so. I'm not the biggest Ultra fan. It tastes like
I'm not
water
either, but
to me.
it does say Superior Light Beer.
It does say Superior Light Beer. So I talked to you about this before the show. In lieu of the season and equaling alcohol content, and arguably
I know you're a wuss. I get it.
No,
it's okay.
Listen, this is much harder than doing 2 shots.
It's okay, buddy.
I'm trying to make it more fun.
Buddy.
Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, so in lieu of the 2 shots, I'll be doing an Irish car bomb. I've got my Guinness Extra Stout right here.
Got to do it really quick, baby.
I've got Carolyn's Irish Cream. It's going to take a second to set up. So if you want to talk a little bit.
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely. As everybody knows, the players. We're going to preview the players. I feel like that's the best thing to do. It's the top of everybody's mind. Everybody watched the amazing comeback of Cam Young and the epic failure of Aberg to close it out yet again. I think that was another. Both were shocks.
At this
I
point,
mean-
is it becoming a trend? Is the question.
The question, that is the question. I don't know if I see trend as much as just youth. He is still young. He made his debut in 2023, I believe, and so it's one of those things where you don't know if it's just inexperience or if it's something a little bit more than that. It did seem like, I mean, me and Dad were watching it, and we were just noticing how, like, he was hitting shots beautifully all the way up until halfway through the round, and then it all seemed to just hit like it's like he hit a wall. It's like he hit a brick wall. And so I don't know. Zach, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on, I hate this discussion, but did Aberg lose it or did Young win it?
I'm going to be 100% honest. There's another guy you got to talk about maybe quote unquote losing this event. That's Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Sure.
I think, what did Oberg go into the final round with? It was 3-shot lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did Cam Young shoot the final day?
Cam Young shot the final day. Hold on, I didn't have Data Golf pulled up. Data Golf tournaments.
And while you're doing that, here it goes. Oh, you would love this shot glass, by the way. It's a Brad
What does
Paisley.
it say?
It's Brad Paisley old-fashioned alcohol.
I better see you chug that, dude.
It's going to be chugged. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready for it.
God damn. I haven't done
Come
one
on,
of
bud.
these forever.
Keep going. Go, 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 go. You did it. Now don't throw up. That's the key. Zach is not throwing up. That's the key. Is don't even joke about that because it will happen. It will happen. Bud. Yikes! That sounds.
I love car bombs, dog.
You love car bombs?
I love car bombs.
I'm happy for you. Yeah, Cam Young. So if we look at his final round, he shot 68. So shot 4 under. So
one
went
could
from
make
9
the
under
argument.
to 13.
So he had a 4-shot lead on Cam
Yep.
Young. I would argue he lost it.
Who?
Oberg.
Aberg? Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is ultimately what happened. To say that is a difficult course, and it was playing especially difficult this
100.
week.
Now, that's not to take anything away from Cam Young, because Cam Young still had to go out there and perform.
Oh, dude had to shoot 13 under for the week.
Yeah. Guy still had to go out there and perform, but, I mean, if all Oberg has to do to at least force a playoff is shoot even par.
Sure.
So when you're talking about, like, did a guy win it or lose it, I don't look at – if a guy shoots under par or even par and someone just goes crazy – I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Who else impressed you this week, do you think?
I thought Matthew Fitzpatrick really impressed. I've been kind of low on him from last year. He kind of had a down year last year coming off of I believe it was a British Open the year before.
Sure.
So I was expecting a lot out of him last year, and he was just kind of quiet. He wasn't bad. It was just he wasn't winning a lot. He wasn't at the top of leaderboard a whole bunch. He played very, very well in a pretty stacked field. Who else? Bridgman. Bridgman being right there was pretty impressive, especially because he's kind of just come onto the scene more recently. And then the biggest field he played very well in the most competitive field he's probably ever been in.
Yeah, I was impressed by that. The Indian Canadian or a Canadian Indian.
Yeah,
not to be confused with an Inuit or a Eskimo. Not to be confused with that, but a Canadian Indian.
What was it like?
Yellow Miraju.
Yellow Miraju. I mean,
which is kind of funny and ironic because he was wearing a yellow shirt on Sunday.
Yellow Mirage.
I joked with Dad. I said, whenever he was wearing a red shirt on Saturday, is he red Mirage then?
I would love to meet your dad one day.
Yeah.
He seems like a fun guy.
No, I said it too, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The joke was you said I was talking to my dad.
Oh. I was talking to Dad. Your dad. Our father.
Our father.
How would you
who
like
art in Tennessee?
How would you like me to like
Let's just say I was talking to Dad.
I was talking to Dad?
Just talking to Dad.
Just talking to Dad.
I mean, there's no one else on the show. If there was someone else on the show,
just talking to
you
Papa.
could say, if there was someone else on the show, you could say I was talking to our dad. But saying my dad, it sounded funny when we're the only two people.
Yeah, you know he really likes it when I call him Big Papa.
He also really likes it when you call him other names too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I'm gonna punch you right in your face. That's right. Anyway, other players that I thought probably outperformed this week, Sepp Straka
for
is
sure
making a stride. I think he did pretty well. Justin Thomas, who finished,
I was
T8.
stunned. He was competitive this week.
I was too, because he was all over the place. How did he end up 8 under after hitting such terrible golf shots? Is my question. He struggled.
Well, I mean, like the
really
week before the API, it was an MC. Yeah. And he shot like 78, 79 or something like that.
Yeah, and he just kind of hung on. I mean, he made it to the weekend, and then he just shot even.
Yeah.
So he just kind of hung on, really, on Saturday and Sunday. And to be fair to him, it's evident the course was playing tougher on those days than on Thursday and Friday.
And also, to be fair to him, he is returning from injury. It's impressive that he was anywhere near the top of the leaderboard.
Correct. The other players...
Specifically coming off of a bad week last week.
Sure.
Like a really bad week.
Sure. Other players that probably outperformed their recent history is Brian Harmon, the lefty.
For sure.
I mean, he was able to, but he always hits it pretty straight, and that was definitely going to get you strokes on the field.
By the way, Zane, I calculated it. If I would have stuck with my original lineup, I would have done better.
I know. Oh my God. I know. Because I told Dad, I said, I think I talked Zach out of a better lineup.
You did. I actually, you know what?
You had Justin on there.
No, I didn't have Justin on there, but I had a lot of low cheap players.
You had Justin
that played exceptionally well and made the weekend.
You had Justin Thomas on your original, and I laughed at you for having Justin Thomas.
I don't think I did. I know I 100% had Cam Young on the original.
You 100% had Justin Thomas.
I had Cam Young and Min Woo Lee. Those are the only two that didn't change.
Yeah, you 100% had Justin Thomas.
I was feeling I should have just stuck with my gut. My gut's always right.
Did you pick Cam Young?
Originally, yeah, I did. And
you switched?
No, I kept Cam Young.
Oh, you kept Cam Young. So you had Cam Young. Why are you saying originally I had Cam Young?
Well, I'm saying originally I still had Cam Young. So
okay.
I still would have had the winner of the event if I had stuck with my original lineup, and everyone would have made the cut.
I was surprised. I was surprised Siwoo Kim didn't play better. He's historically really good at the players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's very good off. Yeah, he's very good off the tee. Which is the big thing out there. You have to be good off the tee. And if you're a little wild off the box, shout out to my boy. Jake Knapp was just wild off the box. Also, he's going through a weird thing, and he cannot hit it close to holes right now.
Sure.
He's just not birdieing, which is just kind of weird. But
who, Jake Knapp?
Yeah.
He's chipping in for eagle. Every time I pick him, he's chipping in for eagle on the last.
That must be nice, dog. Because he did not chip in for eagle this week.
They're at Pebble Beach. I think he eagled 18 twice. Eagled it twice.
Did he?
It's just he did. 100% he did. Anywho, so that was the players. We hope you guys. That was just a great players.
It was a really good event. It came down to the wire. There was a lot of things happening at the top of the leaderboard.
A lot of great golf being played. A lot of tough golf being played.
Yeah,
I'm amazed the scores were as low as they were. To be frank, 13 under is no slouch that week.
For sure.
Put it that way. When the cut line's at 1 over or 2 over, it was a 1 over, right? It's just amazing.
2 over was the cut line.
Well, yeah, 2 over got cut.
No, or 2 over got in.
2 over got in. Well, then that's even more impressive that it was as low as it was at the top. That's some really, really good golf being played by those top people. But anyway, so yeah, Zach, where do you want to go from there after talking about the players?
Well, I want to go into something I sent you on X this past week because I've been starting to really dive in to everything going on X with golf. Yeah. By the way, not that I want to talk about it because I just don't care. But
Akshay Ace at TGL.
Dude,
I'm just.
That was in a warm up, wasn't it?
I'm just joking. Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's for real. That definitely happened.
Yeah, there's been too many aces on that. I think they're juicing it.
They've got to be.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm not a hater or anything, but that.
What were you saying?
Anyway, I did see my first ever person I saw post that they were organically watching TGL the other day.
Nice.
And that's the first time I've seen that. So I just thought that was interesting.
Cool. That is interesting. Is that all you're going to?
That's all I was going to say about that. I also saw this post. So I'm going to share it here shortly. Now, granted, there is more to this story, but it is, at least to me, a little bit interesting. Going to Monday Q info, talking about injuries recently. Another TGL player goes down. Thigala, Horschel, JT, Rory, Colin. All these guys struggled with injury over the past year. And I just thought it was interesting. Now, even he admits in the tweet below that there is respect. Billy Horschel said that a couple of these guys were injured before the season started, blah, 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 blah. But I just thought it was interesting that because I didn't recognize the pattern. But there is, I mean, you can't say that that's not a pattern. Now, correlation doesn't necessarily equal causation. But, I mean, you are putting reps in on your body. So,
Zach, I'm going to have to ask you to stop being retarded.
Okay. Sounds good. Time to talk about the other thing.
No. We can talk. I mean, we could talk about, like, you see a pattern here? Like, you think this is any kind of causation involved in this? Because I think that's just ludicrous. I think you got a lot of guys who are aging on the older side of the PGA Tour that are in that group. Some younger guys, sure, but guys that have a lot of strain on their backs because of how much speed they put on it, how much side bend they have. Whenever we're talking about TGL where they're only getting so many reps, like we're talking like in the tens of reps. Nah, I'm sorry, not a thing. Okay. That's not a thing. They're not doing. They get more reps practicing at home. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah. That's
so
fair.
I think that's just retarded. And I don't mean that to be disparaging to the slow or the mentally incapable, but yeah, I just think that's not smart. That's not fair. A good take.
That's fair. Next up, there was a lot of opinions about this next one. One I sent you. This is talking about the golf ball rollback. It was brought up in a question at a Live Golf press conference in South Africa. And Bryson DeChambeau and the Crushers all answered this question. But I think this is actually a pretty interesting answer. I want to hear your perspective on this. And just tell me to pause whenever you would like me to pause. Is that fair?
Sure. Yeah, that's fair to me. You gotta share the screen.
That's my bad. All right.
I can't see nothing.
I think there's legal limits set for everything. There's really not a way to go around it. So if you want to say that a driver back in 2009 is worse than now, I would actually disagree with you on that. I think they're relatively the same and not much has changed. And you can't change it that much with the rules being the way they are. So I think it's a lot more the athletic ability and us not being as afraid to go after shots or swing harder or be more aggressive. So, you know, I caution anybody that tries to change the rules in the game because they've already been established. Let the athletes be the athletes and let's go have some fun.
I'd agree with that because we've seen significant jumps. We saw the jump from persimmon to steel drivers and then into the graphite shafts, and there's always these jumps. Remember when I'm a Titleist guy, but when the professional came out, there's a huge jump in technology, and it's no slant on the OEMs. The OEMs are doing what they do. They're trying to make the game a little easier, a little more fun. Golf will go a little farther. Remember the architects did their thing with pushing out the golf courses, build more houses. It was always something. There's no blame anywhere in this stuff. I will say that there's not enough credit given to the athlete and how hard the athletes now work and using the technology at our disposal. So we're just, whether that's launch monitors or the fitness or whatever it is or the technical ability, I still feel like that gets the question, we hear it a lot, what about the equipment? No, hang on a second. There's a lot that goes into this. That's plain and simple. I don't think we get enough credit, but then again, that's just, we just use everything to our advantage.
Also, like golf course design.
Okay. Boss. So, they bring up some excellent points. I would argue for the past 10 to 15 or so years, the athlete itself has been better in some ways, not better in others. And to say there's a massive jump in distance is just because the athletes are better. I don't. If you look back at some of the swing speeds, because they've gone and like they've slowed down some of these old videos and figured out how fast they are swinging based off of like obviously frame rate, but like where the hands are moving. Like if you were to put a club of today in say 2001 Tiger's hands, that ball is going further than Tiger Woods now.
For sure.
But Tiger is not hitting it shorter than he was then. And so that's where I would say I agree with them. You can't totally say, oh, it's all the technology, but in a way it is. The problem is how we go about it. Changing a golf ball is completely sideways.
Yeah,
sideways. Like
I agree.
When you went to the three-piece ball, you saw a significant jump, but that's not where the whole jump came from.
Mm-hmm.
Where the massive jump came from was the club technology. And I've seen the freaking Vox video. Everybody's seen the Vox video. But the Vox video even shows you the significant jump that happened whenever the three-piece ball was introduced. Mm-hmm. Right? But it neglects the big change that happened over the span of 20-something years from 2000 all the way up until 2026, where we're at now. Mm-hmm. And that was mainly club technology that changed. Sure, the ball got hotter and hotter and hotter, sure. Mm-hmm. But club technology is really where the change is. I mean, think about it, Zach. Back in the day, if I take that R11 driver, even though it's more forgiving than, say, a stainless steel Big Bertha, or sorry, not stainless steel Big. Yeah, they were stainless steel. Stainless steel Big Bertha. right? If I take, or no, it was a titanium. If I take the titanium Big Bertha, the original, the R11, the same shaft in it, will most likely go further,
Zane,
and it's still forgiving.
You're cutting out at like the beginning of all your sentences. You're getting really quiet. Do you have like a noise thing on your headphones?
I don't think. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but like the start of your sentences are all really quiet. That's why I'm asking.
How bad is it?
It every time you pause and then start talking again, it kind of kicks off.
Does it really bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I'm just for the podcast. I'm just
okay. Well, we'll in the future we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, in the future we'll look at it. If it's really bad, let me know and I'll just take these off. That's
okay.
Fine. But anyway, so the problem is like with these golf balls, like that's not where the significant jump took place. If I take an R11 and I have the same shaft in it as like as a titanium, the original titanium Big Bertha, the original titanium Big Bertha, same shaft as the R11 is not going to perform as good, but also because it's going to hit slightly shorter, but it's going to be mainly forgiveness, right? And that's because of the CC head. That's because of how big the CC is head and how that head is constructed. And I think if we rolled back the driver technology, I think this would fix a lot. Actually, I think a lot of people wouldn't feel like Bryson was just saying like, oh, I can just swing at it. Because now they're worried about off-center hits a lot more than that with the big club head.
Now, would you focus more on construction or CC? Construction or size?
I think the construction is fine. I mean, we've already limited how hot the club face can get and the efficiency at which the ball can come off the face. I think mainly it's going to be about making sure that the CC isn't as high and the surface area of the club face isn't as high, right? You don't want huge surface area club face, and maybe changing the limits on the MOI as well, how deep the club head can get.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm gonna continue because they keep going.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest golf courses are some of the shortest. Like Valderrama every year is by far one of the hardest golf courses we play. It doesn't even compare to the last 10 US Open venues, but it plays like a US Open. So it's not just about equipment. There's, like Paul said, there's so many facets, but everybody only talks about that. So it's an unfair argument.
One last thing, too. I think it's very important.
I think he's right about this. We've talked about this on the podcast. You've got to make sure, like, just lengthening a course
100% agree.
Doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Minimal it does. What you have to do is you have to slim up the fairways in the right places. Make landing spots tougher for approach. And make the greens and make the rough longer, more penal, and make the hazards more penal, right? Bunkers. You can't give them perfect lies in bunkers.
Yeah.
We don't get perfect lies in bunkers.
No.
You go play at Chicopee, they overload the sand. And so hitting bunker shots out of there, everybody knows playing Chicopee, it's hard, and no shade on Lenny or Al out there. I love them to death. But everybody knows you play there, it's really hard to get out of the bunker, normal bunkers. And that's because of that.
Yeah.
Because of that. And so, where at Sawgrass is a great example. Those players would have rather been in a bunker than in that thick rough. Without 100%. A doubt in my mind. Without a doubt in my mind, they'd rather be 100%. In a bunker than in the thick rough. So, yeah. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum that, like, we go back, and I even saw a post about it today on Instagram, a reel. That LA Country Club is like an 89-yard par 3 that was just befuddling these guys.
Yes.
Because the green is so narrow, it's so small. Trouble, like if you miss that green, you're taking probably a bogey.
At best.
Depending on where the pin is. So it's one of those things where if you make courses harder, and like you said, more penal when you're not in the fairway,
Yeah.
These, like, if you're worried about people dominating golf courses with distance, I think there's a lot of ways to do that without rolling back distance. Because I think what they're about to say, because I did watch this whole clip.
Okay.
But what they're about to say or talk about is distance, whether it's on the pro side or the amateur side, the beginning side, the experience side, distance is fun. Distance, a lot of times, what keeps people playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to outdrive your friends. You
Yes.
want to be the long hitter in the group.
100%.
You know, when you're going out there, I'm going to be 100% honest. For a lot of people, hitting the ball 20% shorter, which is what basically this new ball rollback will do, hitting the ball 20% shorter probably will make some people leave the game and go pick up pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where, can I just say this? And this is exactly right. And I get that argument. But this is where you have that adult conversation about baseball. They don't let you use metal bats. You know, so I don't see a problem with limiting pro clubs to a certain CC. I don't see that problem because you can still have Joe Schmo down the street. You can have amateur rules.
Yeah.
You have pro rules and amateur rules.
100%.
And I don't see the problem with that.
No.
I don't see the problem with that at all. And it makes so much sense to me to have pro rules and amateur rules because you already do, Zach.
Yeah.
You already do. Like, guys on the weekend warriors aren't playing by the same set of rules these guys are playing.
Yeah.
There's no gimmies in there.
No.
They don't do gimmies.
No.
Except when it's match play, and even then their gimmies are here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing? You know,
yeah, and I feel like we've talked about this. If you wanted to bifurcate the rules of golf, you could do that. And I think that would
already bifurcated.
It is already bifurcated, but like it makes more sense to bifurcate the rules of golf than to just say, all right, everyone's got to now hit it shorter. Because what that's going to do, I'm telling you this, a lot of old guys are just going to hang it up. Because they already feel like they hit the ball too short. They already feel that way. Zane, when a guy over the age of 50 comes to you, what's the first thing he says he wants to do?
Further?
They want to pick up distance. I feel like I'm not hitting it far enough.
Typically, yeah.
Almost every single person you get over the age of 50, even younger, I've had, I don't feel like I'm hitting the ball far enough.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
I don't feel like I'm hitting the ball far enough. So changing the rules, making the golf ball harder to hit farther is just going to take a guy that is already just playing on the weekends, and it's going to make him go, well, it's just like all this work I've done to pick up distance, I've lost it all now. Now I'm hitting irons into par fours. This isn't fun.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll continue.
Yeah. That makes sense. Makes totally much sense to me. It's not even funny. Go ahead.
Important to set the baseline from a question standpoint. What are the bodies of golf trying to accomplish? Are they trying to preserve the traditions and history of the game, or are they trying to grow the game? Because those are two different things. They can cross over in some facets, in some regard. But when you're trying to preserve the traditions and history of the game, yeah, you're going to want to go back to a golf ball that's going shorter because players are more athletic. Yeah, you're going to want to shrink the heads. Yeah, you're going to want to do this or that. But if you want to grow the game, that's not how you get kids to hit the golf ball farther and enjoy it and then want to be a part of this game. So they're at a bit of crossroads right now, and they have to answer those questions. What do these governing bodies really want? And if they can answer that, then we can start moving in that direction. But right now, they have to answer that question before, us players can get involved. Because if they want something different, well, us players may want to make it easier for others, like I do. I love showing my content how much fun it is to play the game of golf, right? Not how difficult it is. Yeah, there's difficult moments, but I want people to enjoy it, get out in nature. And so my goals are as such, that I want people to experience this more. And so answering that question is, I think, the first step to knowing where the game of golf needs to move.
All righty.
That's fair.
I think that's 100% fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the stated goal of these organizations is to grow the game of golf.
That's the stated goal.
It's a stated goal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it seems like they're more focused on other things than growing the game of golf. But
sure.
I mean, if the goal is to grow the game of golf, then I think by shrinking distance, I think you're not going to grow the game of golf. I think that kid that is playing multiple sports, like they're supposed to, according to the PGA of America and the ADM model, play multiple sports. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, when they turn 16 in 2028 or whatever, they're now hitting the ball 20% shorter. Mm-hmm. Are they going to feel more motivated to play golf, or are they going to feel more motivated? Let me try this. Let me try and go all in on baseball. Let me try and go all in on soccer. Let me try and go all in on football. Because I would argue if I'm making that decision and I've been working my butt off and I'm 16 years old, I'm finally carrying the ball like 250.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now I'm carrying it 230, 225. I'm like, well, it's honestly not as fun when I hit the ball and I see it drop out of the sky at 250 or 225, 230. It's not as fun. I can't make that eagle that I was making a week ago.
Sure.
I just think it's short-sighted. I think I've said my opinions on the golf ball rule like so many times on this show, but I think it actively goes against growing the game. And I think when you're gifted the opportunity that golf was gifted with the COVID boom that happened, and you're actively destroying it by making the game less fun and more difficult for everybody, not just the guys on tour, not just the guys playing in professional events, but everybody. You're making it harder for everybody. I think you're going to see a lot of people, young and old, put down the game in favor of something else.
Probably.
So, I mean, and this is what I've cautioned against from the beginning. But do you have any final thoughts on this? I'm going to go grab a beer real quick.
Yeah, you're good. I'll just say it to the camera. I'm not – yeah, I mean, final thoughts are they just need to – like if you're going to rip the Band-Aid off, but make sure it's something that's going to work out great for everybody. And rolling back the golf ball will make no one happy. And looks like they're going to do it anyway. And it's sad because, I feel like the PGA Tour is moving in the right direction. I'm really liking the stuff I'm seeing out of there, the changes that they're going to make. It's just sad to see some organizations like the USGA still making really bad miscalculations on what needs to be done. And it's because I think it's a lot of the old heads. I think a lot of this is a lot of the old heads. No offense to any older guys. No offense to any of the older guys in the Georgia PGA or in the PGA in general, or in the USGA for that matter. But I think it's a lot of the old heads making these decisions just based off of gut feeling, and not really sitting down with a committee and making it a decision that benefits everybody. Mm-hmm. I think that really is. I think this is a heavy-handed move. I don't think this was thought through very well. I think it was somebody at the figurehead making a decision, kind of like Donald Trump, just making a decision, and then everybody falls in line and from the top down level. So that's just my feeling about it. I don't know if that's true. That's just the feeling I get. That's the gut feeling I have.
What do you think the reaction to this was? This answer.
Would I feel like what? Say that again.
What do you feel like the average reaction was to these comments?
I think the average reaction. Ooh, that's a great question, dude. I don't know. What are you asking me because you know the average reaction?
I know the average reaction. I saw.
Well, go ahead and hit me with it, baby. Go ahead and hit me with it.
The average reaction is that these guys are demonstrating an utter lack of knowledge on the subject matter, and
Sure.
basically that they don't know what they're talking about.
I don't see how that's the average reaction. You're talking about these guys on Live, that they don't understand the subject matter.
Yes, correct.
Jesus, dude, we're done. We're screwed.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, the the tweets I saw in response to this. But
wow, that's insane.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts. I honestly I couldn't believe it because I've been on this. I mean, we talked about this ad nauseum since the announcement came, since the even discussion of the announcement might happen about this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me given the gift that golf was given, which was the COVID boom. And let's not mince words about it. It was an absolute gift. The golf industry had been in decline for years.
Yep.
Before the COVID boom. For years. Because as Tiger started to go downhill, so did the golf industry. And even though you had Rory and you had all these other stars, it wasn't Tiger and it wasn't grabbing people's eyes.
Without a doubt.
Less people were playing, less money was being spent on clubs and rounds and balls and all this equipment. And then you get the COVID boom, which blows up pretty much everything in the golf industry, spending on equipment, rounds played, memberships at private clubs, memberships at public courses. Everything blows up. And then the response to that is, people are starting to hit the ball too far now. Let's just make everyone hit it shorter.
Yeah.
It just, I think you're right when you said I might be misquoting you, but I think you said something along the lines of it's the old heads having a very narrow view of what the game of golf is or could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a very short-sighted and emotional response to a change within the game of golf.
100%.
Because let's be honest, 20 years ago, had 13 under ever been shot at the Players?
Had 13 under ever been shot at the Players?
Mm-hmm. Let's look that up. I'm gonna look that up.
I don't think I maybe. I mean, you know better than me. If you're asking the question, you better have the answer.
I'm curious.
Why don't you just look it up?
I'm looking it up. 20 years ago.
Is the
2003, Davis Love III shot a 17 under. 1997, Steve Elkington won by 7 shots at 16 under. Fred Couples in 1996 at 18 under.
Yeah.
Greg Norman with 24 under in 94. So Nick Price, 18 under in 93. So it's not like the scores are desperately lower.
No.
On a week-to-week basis.
Wait,
so
what?
Huh?
Say that one more time.
It's not like the scores are desperately lower on a week-to-week basis when you're comparing current tournament results to past tournament results.
Okay.
I can go all the way back to 1985, 14 under Calvin Peete.
Zach, but you have to understand, you're making their argument for them.
How am I making that argument?
Because they've lengthened the golf course pretty dramatically since 20 years ago.
Okay. But what I'm saying is the scores aren't lower. No, the scores aren't lower.
I know. That's my whole point is they've lengthened the golf course, and so the scores have gotten higher.
So then what's the problem?
Well, that's what I would say is like, why are you rolling back the golf ball? That's what I would say.
But you go all the way back in the day, and it's like
I mean, the bottom line is they just need. I throw away all of what you said. I just think if you're going to make a change that makes the most sense. This change does not make the most sense at all. Not a lick. And so get rid of it. Don't do this change. Don't do it, because it's horrible what they're trying to do. It just is.
I agree.
So that's my feeling.
All righty. What do you got next on the docket?
So before we go into our DraftKings picks, just wanted to go into a little discussion on Terrell Hatton. Terrell Hatton, he made some comments about what he does with his game, and so I wanted to get your take on it, Zach. Here we go.
I don't think it'd surprise you to hear that I don't have a mental coach. Yeah, that just doesn't work for me. I just kind of react to the situation that I've put myself in and then try and get on with it.
So then a question to Tom and Caleb. Do you guys learn from this, or you take more relief out of John's book in that one?
My book is
John's
enough
calm
for
as well, isn't he, to be fair?
If there is something they don't need to learn from us, that's the one thing they could just avoid and pick something else.
So, what is our thoughts on that? Should the average golfer out there get a mental game coach, or should not average, but should somebody look into should everybody look into getting a mental game coach? Is that something that's useful, or just get your head out of your rear?
I think it can be useful. I think it depends on the person. I think it's entirely individual.
Sure.
So like, I mean, when you look at guys that have like been in contention a lot, but they don't win. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Those guys probably need a mental coach more than the guy that's always winning.
Sure.
Because some of it is a confidence thing, some of it's a nerves thing. But like, I mean, I think it's entirely individual. I think Terrell Hatton doesn't have a mental coach just because he doesn't feel like he needs one. I mean, and I mean, he's won a lot. So it would be hard to argue. It'd be hard to argue that whatever he's doing is not working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still a very high quality player. So I think when you're talking about like, you know, should everyone have a mental coach? I don't think everyone needs one. I think it can be useful. But I think everyone has to make that determination for themselves. I think it's like it's an individual sport. And every individual has their own things that they have to deal with, whether mentally or otherwise.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good. I always say, I mean, it just depends on what level you want to play at. I mean, that bottom line for me is like, and it depends on what level you are now. Like, there's players that are fine without one, and that's great. And if you're just a weekend warrior, don't waste your money on getting a mental game coach. Like, that's just stupid. If you think you're a head case and people call you a head case, and rightfully so, because you missed 3-footers and you doing a bunch of stuff, and when you practice that doesn't happen, it wouldn't be a bad idea to check it out. That's my 2 cents about it.
Yeah.
I even and Zach knows this because I tried it one time and I think it worked. Here's a little hack for those people that don't want to spend the money on a mental game coach. What you got to do is you got to go on to Grok. Okay? Zach knows what I'm about to say. And you have to tell it. You can start a project or whatever, but you have to prompt it. You have to say, okay, I am training for this tournament, and I really need a mental game coach or a sports psychologist. You can even say sports psychologist. I really need a sports psychologist to play well. And I want you to be my sports psychologist for this event. And I want you to walk me through. I want you to be like my be like my Dave Stockton, or I want you to be like my Bob Rotella, is what I told it. And dude, I'm telling you, I am so serious how it does get your mindset right. Like you feel like you're playing your best. And so for those of you that don't want to break the bank, that do want to play at a high level, it's not a bad idea to go into ChatGPT. I'm sure can do the same thing, but go into Grok. That's the one I use, and type in it or speak to it. You can even do the speak to it, so it's more soothing if you like that. And you can be like, all right, I need you to be my Bob Rotella. I'm training for this golf tournament. I really want to play well. I want us to have like a therapeutic session where we go over like my mental performance in golf or whatever. And brother, it asks a ton of questions. It's probing. It asks you what you're feeling at certain times. It has you reflect on those times. It works. I'm telling you, it works. And so I'm going to do it again because of how well it worked before the U.S. Open qualifier last year. So, again, I think there are options out there where you don't have to necessarily get a mental coach. Reading books is great. Reading those Bob Rotella books like Golf is a Game of Confidence or Golf is Not a Game of Perfect, or even the ones like what is the one called have the perfect game of your life or whatever. Like those games are great. I mean, those books are great. So anyway, last thought, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I said everything I need to say. So.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so now we are. Or do we want to move on to DraftKings? We covered the changes with the PGA, right? We covered those changes on the podcast, didn't we?
Which change? Yeah,
going to 120 feet. 120
yeah. We talked about that.
I figured we did. I figured we did.
Clips about that this week come out.
Yeah, I think they did. So if you can, let's go ahead and scan Nuclear Golf real quick for those clips if we can.
I'm saying we had our clips come out.
Oh yes, we did. You're right.
About talking about that.
You're right. We did. So yeah, I mean, I just think it's one of those things where I'm super bullish on this new administration.
Just waiting for him to break your heart.
They always do, baby. They always do. It's a common occurrence, unfortunately, recently. Common occurrence. So just to put it in perspective this week, let's go into the Valspar. Otherwise known as, it used to be known as the Transition Championship back in the day. Zach remembers doing that, and I think weren't you also a toter for that, or was it just?
I never did that. That wasn't me.
Oh, that was me. Okay,
I was never there.
Anyway, it was very fun down there at the Copperhead course at Innisbrook, and it's a very tough course. So the last, let's go to the last 3 years. Victor Hovland won with 11 under. 2024 it was Peter Malnati with 12 under. 2023 was Taylor Moore at 10 under. It was playing a little bit easier. In 2022 and 2021, Sam Burns won both of them back to back 17 under each.
Yeah.
So this winning score, I think they're going to play it hard. I've looked at the the pick. We watched a ton of the practice round today on Golf Channel, and it looks like it's going to play tough. Grass is really lush. Rough is thick. They've narrowed the fairways, it looks like, a little bit, especially on those final holes. I think this is going to be a tough week out there. I think probably the winner is going to be around 12 under again.
Yeah.
I really do. I think.
Do you think we see a first-time winner this week?
I do. There's too many good names that are playing well that are either haven't won or have won a while back. There's so many good names in the contest this week, and there's so many big names that are out. Bati is out. Who else is out? Rory's not playing till the Masters.
Scheffler's not there.
There's a lot of big names out, so I think it is going to be a first-timer.
Okay.
What about you?
I think there's a decent chance it's a first-timer. I have my thoughts and feelings on who I think it could be.
Well, tell me your thoughts and feelings, Zach.
Don't bottle them up inside. We'll get into it, Zane. We'll get into it.
Don't bottle them up inside. That's not where they need to be.
I would never bottle them up inside. Never.
So anyway, do you have your picks?
I do.
All right, buddy.
I do.
I picked I'm pretty confident. I've got 3 different lineups, but I've got one in the 300. Join us if you can. 300,000. Drive the green. PGA Tour 300,000. Drive the green. $30,000 to first place in this event. Very, very excited for this. Zach, let's go ahead and you want to do back and forth, one.
We'll go back and forth. I'll start it off because I always do with my lowest paid player. I don't know how this guy keeps winding up this cheap, especially in a weakened field. Tom Kim has not missed a cut this year. He's $7,100.
Really?
Gimme.
Holy cow, you're right. Dang. How is he 7,100?
I don't know. He hasn't missed a cut all year.
Well, his last event was at the Cognizant, in which I think that's probably why he hadn't played the past few weeks.
Has not missed a cut all year. He was T34 at the Genesis.
He didn't play the Players.
He didn't play the Players. He also didn't play the API. But
yeah, I don't know.
He has not missed a cut this year.
Yeah, Zach's gonna stay on it.
This isn't the Players or the Arnold Palmer. This is the Valspar.
This is the Valspar. Yeah, we just saw that 12 under and 11 under one of the last 2 years, bud. I don't know if Tom Kim's going to have it this week at Copperhead.
Trust. He makes a cut this week.
Trust.
Again. 7
Trust,
for 7.
As if he's a Gen Zer. He is a Gen Zer. Anyway, my guy is obviously coming off a really close call this past week. Matthew Fitzpatrick. It's amazing that he is $9,800 for salary.
I thought that was pretty surprising as well. He's in pretty good form right now.
He's in very good form, and he's under Victor Hovland. Now, granted, Victor Hovland won last year, so he's got that going for him, and that's probably what's propping up his value.
For sure.
But Fitzpatrick he's fine-tuned, geared very well. Recently, a lot of those guys that have finished runner-up have gone on to win or gone on to do great things. So I think he might pull out the win this year. Definitely top 5 for me. I think he's a
lock for top 5 as well. I
agree. That. Anyway, your next pick.
My next pick, another guy who the last cut he missed was the Scottish Open.
Wow, long time ago.
He also had a close call this year, finished T2 in the Cognizant Classic. And we're going with Taylor Moore.
Taylor Moore's a good pick.
$7,500. He T50'd at the Players last week. He T44'd at the Arnold Palmer. This is a much weaker field than both those events.
Yeah, less stakes.
Less stakes. I think he's going to play well this week.
That's a good pick. I picked him in one of my other lineups. Did not pick him in this lineup. Let's go on to Jacob Bridgman, the new JB Holmes, as they call him. He's on a tear. He's playing amazing,
exceptional right now.
Exceptionally well. His fantasy points per game right now he's one of the only guys at 100 plus. He's got 4 top 10s this season. I don't see him slowing down, to be frank.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it. I mean, dude's playing out of his mind. If it weren't for a few bad breaks this past week, he'd been in the last 2 groups. So
yeah, for sure.
I like Jacob Bridgman. Go on.
My next pick, another guy who you might not know by the name, but this guy gets results. He had a top 20 at Pebble. He's only missed 1 cut this year. He also finished top 25 at the Players. This guy, Alex Smalley.
Alex Smalley's a good pick.
$7,800.
And you know how I know he's a good pick?
Why?
Because I picked him too. I picked Alex Smalley as well. 70 fantasy points per game. Like Zach said, I mean, he's just been playing great ever since the Farmers. So, yeah. I mean, he's only getting better. He's gone T35, T19, T52, and then T24. Like Zach was saying, this is less stress this week. this is kind of like you're just building up into the Masters. I mean, this is a great way for him to get some name recognition and get the invite.
For sure. For sure. My next guy, we got a pretty big jump. We got $1,000 jump in price here.
Yikes.
But a guy that's been hot lately, kind of surprisingly to me, because he did not – I mean, he started the year pretty well, but then had a pretty big dip at Pebble. But $8,800, we're going with Sahith Theegala. He's been playing well lately.
That's a good one. I picked him in another one. However, I picked the guy who you definitely need to pick. If you didn't pick him, you're missing out, is Ricky Castillo. I mean, $7,900. Let's listen in to the past few weeks. So starting with the American Express, it was T44, T43 in the Farmers Insurance, then T5 at Cognizant, T1 at the Puerto Rico Open, and onto the Players, he made the cut in T70. And that was only because he had a terrible third round. So,
yeah,
I mean, with the less stress this week, Ricky's gonna do some special.
I
things.
looked at him. I did not pick him.
Okay,
I looked at him.
that was a mistake.
No, because I have who I think is going to win this week next.
Let's hear it.
We're talking about a first-time winner on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
We're talking about a non-American, and we're talking about a guy who has played exceptionally consistent this season.
Echeverria.
His worst finish this season, T27.
Echeverria.
And that is Nikolai Hogard.
Oh, bro.
$8,900. Nikolai Hogard.
That's a lot of money for Nikolai. I'm sorry.
He's got 3 top 10s, and he's 7 for 7 on cuts made. I think he might win this week. I'm just saying. I got a feeling. about Hogard.
Okay.
He's been also consistently outperforming his brother Rasmus.
Oh, Rasmus is not doing well. Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Nikolai's played exceptionally well. His worst finish this year is T27.
It's hard because you see the name on the board, and it's like
you just got to look for the initial at the start.
You got to look for the
N
R or the N. Yeah, that's right.
Nikolai's playing exceptionally well right now. That's why
N stands for nasty. R stands for what are you doing, Raggy?
Raggy.
yeah, that's what R stands for. Anyway, so the next one I've got is Buddy Cauley, baby. Going back to Florida, dude. He's still in Florida, still on the Florida swing. He's my dark horse this week. T32 at the Players, Arnold Palmer T18. He plays well in Florida, and that's because he feels home.
I don't like that pick.
You cannot like that all you want, baby.
My next pick is another guy who I think's got a shot to win. Zane's already mentioned his name once. My last pick, $9,800. We're going Matty Fitzpatrick, dude.
That's a good pick. I mean, that's just solid. You can't be mad at that
think
one.
my lineup's pretty good this week.
I haven't said my last one.
Okay, yeah, go say your last one of your losing lineup.
No, dude, this guy is gonna top 10 it. He's getting hot. I just think he's getting hot. And that is Austin Smotherman.
That is one of your how much was he this week?
He was only 74.
That's a good pick, Zane. I'm proud of you.
That's a great pick. So he did get cut at API. Cut at API. However, that was rough. However, he did T13 at the Players.
Yeah.
And that right before Copperhead is really, really good.
Yeah. 100%.
So I think he's gonna, as long as he can put up 1 or 2 low rounds out of the first 2 days, he's gonna make the cut.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's gonna top 10, but I want to see him around the 30. I want to see him around 30. That'd be nice. I really like that.
I would like to see all my guys above T30.
I'd appreciate it, Austin, if you could do that for me, please. So anyway,
so
that's my lineup. Smothering rounds it out, and I did pick some of the guys you said. I think they're all good picks. I like those picks that you picked this week.
I really like this lineup. I went a little bit deeper dive on the stats and what works at the Valspar and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think all these guys either really their game matches up well or they're playing exceptionally well right now.
Sure, I like that.
Is arguably more important than their game matching up, because if their game matches up, but they're in a bit of a slump, doesn't matter how much if their game matches up. But right. I mean, you look at a guy, and you mentioned this already. T5 is about your floor for Fitzpatrick because his game matches up well, and he's playing really well.
Without a doubt, yeah. I mean, Fitzpatrick is the pick of the week because your like course history plays well there at Valspar, at Copperhead and Innsbruck, and on top of that, dude's playing great. So I don't see, if it does end up he doesn't play well, it's a fluke.
It's a fluke, and I actually think I'll put an extra shot on if he misses the cut. If we get an MC,
I'll do a shot.
If he MCs, I'll do a shot.
Yeah,
in fact, I'll go even crazy. I'll do 2 shots if he misses the cut.
I'll do 2 shots if he misses the cut too. Now we're just doing a shot for whoever loses.
Yeah, because it's not a big
event. If you lose, you get 3 shots. If you lose and he does that, you get.
I know.
So anyway, all right. Well, that sounds like a great week. We're really excited for the Valspar. It's down in our home state of Florida, and really right across. I mean, just a hop, skip, and a jump from home. So looking forward to seeing what the guys do there, and hopefully it's a good tournament. Hopefully it ends up in a playoff. Really love seeing that.
I love seeing close golf events more than I love to drink beer. That's a lie.
That's a lie. Cheers, baby. All right, cheers.
All righty. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Beerly Out of Bounds podcast. Good talk. Make sure if you like this episode, you leave a like. Leave a comment if you have anything you want us to talk about, or if you have any comments on anything we talked about today. And we will see you guys next week to talk results out of the Valspar, everything happening in the golf world, and more. See you guys later.